it's just so easy to be firm at sight.
When you have a great sex life, you will tend to create more wealth, more resources, more income.
The gift of availing myself to him, and when he avails himself to me, that's the best gift that I can also receive, knowing that we are there for one another.
Close the doors to sin and to issues, to adultery, by making sure your marriage is looked after.
Good day, this is Dr. Francisca coming to you from the Greatest Sex Life Ever, and I'm so excited that you could engage with me. And I have this book, the latest book that we have co-authored with my husband, The Greatest Sex Life Ever, God's Sexual Blueprint. And I trust that you can engage with us as we talk about sex. Well, we are into very exciting topics today, and stay tuned in. Make sure you can, share these links with your friends. There's the website where you can click and have all the information. You can order your book, purchase it, or you can get in touch with you as we talk about sex. Now, I want to talk something very, very exciting, and these are, the deep details, the meat of the sex, the juicy part. Everybody, when we think sex, we think all the juicy parts. So let's get right into it. Proverbs chapter 7, verse 18 says, 16, sorry, I've spread my canopy bed with coverings, lovely multicolored Egyptian linen spread, ready for you to lie down on. I've sprinkled the sheets with intoxicating perfume made from myrrh, aloe, and sweet cinnamon. Come, let's get comfortable and take pleasure in each other and make love all night. Make love all night. I've got a question for you. When was the last time that you made love all night? Most of the believers, children of God, we've been to all-night prayers. Yes, that's good. But my question is, when was the last time, if ever, you have made love all night? And so some of the tips that we're going to share today are going to get you into that place of making love all night. One of the fundamental keys in making, in ensuring that you can make love all night is to set the right mood, set the right atmosphere. So the first thing we always say is that if you want to be in heaven at 11, you've got to start it at 7 a.m. So the first thing you need to do is your mind and tell yourself, today I am going to make it hot. Today I want to satisfy and get my husband to cry, get my wife to cry, whatever it may be. Number one, you make the decision. Number two, we've all got this. Your cell phone, right? Very easy. Why don't you send him a message right now? And interestingly enough, you can send it as an SMS, because very few times we get SMSs these days, or send it as maybe Messenger, I don't know, because some people may not get into Messenger, or even on Facebook. Why not put it on his status and say, tonight, honey, ... I mean, let the whole world know. Show it to the whole world. The thing about confession and speaking and telling the whole world, you become accountable. I found it very difficult to be able to publicly say something and then I don't fulfill it, in the privacy of my home. So say something on Facebook, send him a WhatsApp, sending him email, whatever mode of communication, send your husband, send your wife, and begin to speak all those things that you desire. What is it doing? It is creating the mood. It is telling those bills, get out of the way. It's telling those other negative emotions, get out of the way. Because you have to push certain things out. Get the kids out of the way. Do something. Prepare for a good night. So it doesn't have to be even at an expensive hotel. You can do it in your bedroom. So we've done all that. We have created the mood, we've sent the message. What's the next thing that we need to do? Think through the event of the evening. What do you want to do? So if you've got children at home, send them away somewhere. Get them somewhere you know that you've got the house all to yourself. Brilliant. You've done that. We are getting somewhere. I can feel it. You're getting there. So give me some more tips and advice. I don't know it all. What I'm sharing with you is stuff that I had to discover, stuff that I had to learn, and stuff that I've also gleaned from fellow ministers, brothers, sisters, every exposure that I've had in learning about sex, and I'm building it all together. And there is nothing as good as freshness. So freshness and taking a bath is very, very important. I'm getting all excited by myself, and I trust that you are. And just to let you in on a few secrets that I discovered, as my marriage years went by. I never used to have in my budget things like bath salts, bubble bath, body wash. All these things seemed, how could you even put them on a budget? The best that you could do is just have a bar soap, and that's all you use. But when I discovered the secret pleasures of using a bubble bath scrubs, all those lovely things, and the sponge and all of that, those things just make such a difference. There is something about relaxing in a nice warm bath, and there's foam all over, and you're taking those oils, you're scrubbing yourselves, you are scrubbing one another's backs. You may not even finish your lovely bath session because everything is really so now engaged, and you are feeling it. You are feeling that tonight is going to be hot. So I want to encourage you, invest in how you take care of yourselves in bathing, and allowing what seems to be luxuries to be what you bring into your home. We had a testimony of someone speaking and saying how they also discovered that in their first few years of marriage, because of the home they were renting and then the next home that they were renting, they didn't really enjoy their intimacy as much as when they stepped into the home that they bought. Now, all of this really, it pertains to environment. It's the mood that you create. Because sometimes maybe you are in this place where all you have is a bed sitter, or you are in places, I know there's places where people have to share rooms and all sorts of things. So all these things are contributing factors in how we can enjoy or not enjoy our intimacy. So when you have an opportunity where there's a shower, where there is a bathtub, soak into those bubbles, or you're under the shower together, just kissing and touching one another. Like my husband always says, God has given us every sexual tool that we need. From head to toe, every organ of yours is a sex toy that God has given you. These are just tips to help you realize that those fingers that God gave you, you can play around with them. The ears that God gave you, you can play around with them. More so, in the shower is the best place to do some pole dancing, using each other's body structure and legs, and you can get into some pole dancing. There are men, businessmen that take time in the entertainment schedule to go to those intimate lounges and those funny sex lounges, and they see all these naked women doing pole dancing, doing all sorts of sexual whatevers. What does it do? Because they know that there is an effect that comes upon the men, and I don't know what they feel, when they see all these naked women. But you can do that in the confines of your home. Can you imagine, allowing your husband to have a free show, a great show of his one and only woman? And instead of, as my husband says, you don't have to go out there and get another pole. His legs are right there for you. His body is right there for you to be able to make it your pole dancing tool. So there is so much that can be done. So we've done the bathroom, and probably you may not have time to even get out of the bathroom and go into the bedroom. Everything is just gonna happen there, and you'll be sexually fulfilled and sexually satisfied. Now, as we get into the bedroom, as we read the passage of scripture, having prepared all the linen, having prepared all the perfumes and sprayed all the exotic powders that are smelling so good, what is one of the things you need to do? As you can see on the set here, we have some beautiful candles, that are scented with great aroma. It's already preparing the room. So the room does not have the stuffy smell of the socks, the husband socks and shoes. No, husband socks and your shoes. Okay, whatever. But the smells are not there. You've taken care of them. The diffusers, all those things readily available for you to just make the environment all good. And so these are the things you need to, it's amazing how intimate and how glorious sex can be when you are smelling fresh, when you are have a good fresh breath, and when your linen is fresh. Don't have linen that's been there for 2-3 weeks. That's why they change linen every week. Why? It enhances. Don't go a whole month without changing linen. Now you wonder, why are you not enjoying sex? Why? Because you've been sleeping on the same pillowcase and sheets for the last month. That is a put off. Make it inviting. Make it smell good. Well, those are some of the tips. Like I said, share with me, share with us, all these tips we are able to share with other people, with other couples, as we continue to engage and talk about sex. There is more on how you can improve your sex life and move it from the 10 years of boredom and into something electric, from the 15 years of boredom into something electric, and even going 45 years in your marriage, you can still have the greatest sex life ever. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time. This is Dr. Francisca.